The Classic TV channel is your happy trails to golden oldies television from the 1940s through the formative years of the 1950s and 60s. Enjoy restored TV shows Mickey Rooney Show, Groucho Marx, Trouble with Father, Terry and the Pirates, One Step Beyond, Beverly Hillbillies, Bonanza, The Lucy Show, Dick Van Dyke, Annie Oakley, Ozzie and Harriet, The Howdy Doody Show, and many, many more. Binge your night away. So return with us now to those golden days of yesteryear.
Anne Jeffries as Marion Kirby, the ghostess with the mostest. Robert Sterling as George Kirby, that most sporty spirit. And Leo G. Carroll, host to said ghost, as Topper.
Tell Mr. Schuyler I have the payroll of the Hercules Corporation. I'm just going to take the total count on it now.
Yes, sir.
All right. I see you wherever you are. Come on, materialize.
Come on, Topper, let's go out to the track this afternoon and make ourselves a lot of money.
Yes, Toppy, it's a glorious day for the races.
Now, look, we're not going to any races. And put that money right back on my desk. Oh. George? Marion? There's $1,000 missing.
Search me.
Marion?
I warn you, Toppy, I'm ticklish.
What are these? Oh, we bought you a couple of tickets on the Irish Sweepstakes.
I don't gamble. You should have saved your money.
Topper, about the Hercules payroll.
I'm just going over it.
What's this? Racing form?
Yes, I race down to the office every morning. It keeps me in good form.
But think how this might look to a customer. An officer of the bank playing the races?
Oh, but Mr. Schuyler...
I'm not accusing you. You're a very reliable executive.
Oh, well, thank you.
And I trust you implicitly.
I appreciate that.
Excuse me.
But Mr. Schuyler... Mr. Schuyler...
I'll take care of the Hercules payroll.
But, Mr. Schuyler, I assure you, I haven't the slightest interest in racing.
Well, if we can't go to the track, we may as well listen to the race.
They're off and running. Lucy Bell steps into the lead. Then it's Muddy Shoes and Orphan Fibber. For her, Muddy Shoes in front by 1 length. Lucy Bell is second ahead. Orphan Fibber is third on the outside.
Topper.
He does.
He's on, Topper. I've got a bet.
Passing the half-mile post, it is...
Topper, how do you do that? I mean, keep it up in the air like that.
Oh, nothing to it. It's a hi-fi radio. See you after lunch, Mr. Schuyler.
Yes.
Hey, Jello.
Thank you.
Oh, Mr. Topper, could I interest you in a ticket on a turkey raffle?
Oh, no, thank you, Harlan. I'm opposed to gambling in any form.
Okay.
Besides, I prefer salami.
Hear that, George? A turkey raffle.
Yeah, I'm going to get one for Topper. I'm tired of salami. Put this in his pocket.
Get one for Henrietta, too.
Okay, and one for Katie.
thought you didn't want a ticket.
I don't. No gambling. Banker has to be careful of appearances. Good afternoon, Mr. Schuyler.
Oh, Tupper, about this loan. Turkey raffle.
I beg your pardon?
This morning it was the races. This afternoon you come marching through the bank disguised as a turkey raffle. When will all this end?
Well, if I win, I'll be happy to give you the bird.
Well, thank you. I'm not going to stand for any more of this, Tupper. You think I'm crazy?
Topper, are you going to let him speak to you like that?
Yes. I mean, no.
Well, one of us is. I don't know which.
Oh, punch him in the nose. You need a straitjacket, you imbecile.
Tupper, you're holding me.
Don't want to push you around. Stop talking and go into my office before you start any more trouble.
Go to your office. We'll go into my office. I'll show you how much trouble I can make.
There, did that Schuyler give him a working over? And Topper never even made a peep.
Hey, George, you know what Topper needs?
Yeah, money.
He needs courage.
Well, it's the same thing.
Huh?
If you have money, you have courage.
Say, if Topper thought he had money, he'd have courage enough to make Schuyler apologize to him.
Huh?
Let's call him up and tell him he won the Irish Sweepstakes.
Good idea.
Hello? Yes, Cosmo Topper speaking.
Hello? This is a transatlantic operator calling. Just a moment, please. London calling.
London?
Hello there, old boy. I thought you might be interested to know that you've won the
grand prize of the
The Irish Sweepstakes.
Sure and begorra, you've won yourself the Irish Sweepstakes. You've got and won yourself 800,000 spalpeens. I mean, dollars.
800,000. Wait a minute. Which ticket won?
Which ticket won? What was the number?
Wait a minute. Here it is.
Oh, here we are. The number is 738583856749.
I've got to get it back to him.
I don't seem to have that one. Will you repeat the number?
I say, can't you remember a simple number?
I've got it. 738-583-856-749.
exactly.
What have you got, Toppy?
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Marion, I just won the Irish Sweepstakes.
Really, Toppy? How much did you win?
$800,000.
Well, now you're going in there and make Mr. Schuyler apologize to you, aren't you?
I most certainly am not.
You are.
I'm going to make him come to me.
Now we're getting somewhere.
Yes, Topper.
Schuyler, I want to see you in my office immediately.
What happened? What are you
Topper,
Come in, Schuyler.
the name is Mr. Schuyler.
It's time we had a meeting of the mind.
Impossible. There's only one mind between us, and I have it.
That's precisely the type of insult I don't intend to take from you.
Now see here, Topper.
Sit down, Schuyler. I can roar just as loud as you.
Topper.
A little while ago, you said certain things to me. I demand an apology.
Bravo, bravo!
Here. Topper, I've never seen you like this.
Apologize.
Maybe my language was a bit strong, but
Apologize.
there was nothing personal about it. I lost my temper. All right, Topper, I'm sorry. Will you accept my apology?
You did it, Topper.
You won.
No, I won't accept your apology. I quit.
Quit.
Quit?
I'm retiring on $800,000. Good day, Mr. Schuyler.
800,000. Hello.
Yes, sir?
Call in the bank examiners. I want the books audited right away.
Yes,
Where could Topper be? He hasn't been home all day.
He's probably out spending his $800,000.
Oh, no. George, we've got to tell him the truth.
It was your idea. You tell him.
Oh, George.
Uh-oh.
But how could he buy those things? He didn't have the money.
You ever hear of a charge account?
Oh, George, hello, Marion.
What's with the bottle?
Gin for Neil. I'm going to make him a martini so big he'll be able to play water polo with the olives.
Oh, Topper. Topper, dear, there's something we have to tell you.
Yeah, there's something she has to tell you.
Oh, plenty of time to talk on my new yacht.
Yacht? You bought a yacht?
Not yet, but I stopped in to price them on the way down to the newspaper office. By the way, have you seen the evening paper? Look. What do you think of that? The editor's a friend of mine. When I told him the news, he had a photographer take my picture. I expect a lot of people will be seeing my picture soon.
Yeah. Front and side view, with numbers underneath. And it won't be the numbers on the ticket either.
Did you sleep well?
Like a top. I was just lying there on the bed, thinking how rich I am. Henrietta won't take off a diamond necklace and furs. She slept in them last night.
Topper, dear, take my hand. Now hold on tight and listen to me. Oh, George, I can't go through with it. You tell.
Pardon me. Hello? This is Cosmo, Topper. Oh, you saw my picture in the papers. What charity do you represent? Well, put me down for $5,000.
No, Topper.
No? No. Well, whatever you say. Make it 10,000. No, not at all. Thank you. Goodbye. You're right, Marion. What's the good of having money if you don't make people happy? I'm going to spread mine around. You both had something to tell me.
Yes, Topper. You...
What?
Well, you do... You certainly look handsome in that robe.
Oh, well, thank you.
Cosmo.
Coming, dear. You look perfectly lovely, my dear. But aren't you a little overdressed for breakfast?
I just wanted to show the new dress. Cosmo, it was so clever of you to win. Whatever it was, you won.
Well, credit where credit is due, my dear. You should thank our friends the ghosts. They're entirely responsible for our present situation.
I feel sick.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Hear what?
Marion, she's not feeling well.
I'm sorry, too. Oh, Cosmo, now you've got me talking to them. You know they only exist in your imagination.
So you've been telling me, dear.
I feel silly talking to people who don't exist, but if it'll make you happy, Cosmo, I'll thank them. Where are they?
Well, I don't see them at the moment, and they're about here somewhere.
Thank you. Thank you both. They have a dog. Did he have anything to do with it?
I don't think so. Let's go and have a bite of breakfast, shall we?
You go ahead, Cosmo. I'll answer the door.
Right, dear.
Good morning, Mr. Topper.
Mr. Schuyler, come in.
My, charming.
I suppose you've heard about our good fortune.
Ah, yes, my wife and I read it in the paper last night. I do hope I can persuade him to withdraw his resignation from the bank.
Did you hear that, George? He wants to give Topper his job back.
Yeah. And Topper doesn't know how bad he needs it, too.
We'd better be nice to Mr. Schuyler. And let's go in and make him comfortable. Get him a chair, George. Hold up his feet. I'll get a footstool.
Put a pillow behind his back.
Acid indigestion. Banker's stomach. Cosmo?
Cosmo?
Now look here, young man. I absolutely refuse to accept your resignation. We want you back at the bank. We need you. I'm going to propose your name for membership on the board of directors.
Say yes.
My answer is a flat, firm, unequivocal...
Quick, George. Put your hand over his mouth. Don't let him say no.
Silence gives consent. Thank you, Topper. Now I'll rush right down to the bank, and I'll have your office redecorated.
How'd you like me to do that to you?
Mr. Cosmo Topper?
Yes?
My name's Kittler.
Hi, happy to meet you.
Why? You don't know who I am?
Under my present financial circumstances, I'm happy to meet everyone.
I'm from the United States Bureau of Internal Revenue.
Oh, I see what you mean.
We have a very fast follow-up service.
But I haven't even got my money yet.
That's all right, Mr. Topper. We'll wait at 6% interest. Now, just a few forms to fill out.
How much does he come to?
On everything over $300,000, the tax is 92%.
92? I add the state tax to that, and my income at the bank, and there's nothing left.
Well, that's why we organized the flying squad. But let's not look on the dark side. Maybe I can save you $1 or $2. How many dependents?
Just my wife and 3 ghosts.
Well, we can't list them as dependents. Maybe I can give you something for depreciation on the house, for being haunted.
Does Cosmo Topper live here?
Yes.
This Cosmo Topper?
Yes.
May I see him?
I bought my wife a diamond necklace and some furs. I charged them. How am I going to pay for them?
First things first. Right now, we have to figure out some way to keep you off relief rolls.
Cosmo, there's a lady here to see you.
Oh, not now, dear. Mr. Kittler here is helping me go bankrupt.
Cosmo! My darling Cosmo!
Oh, ma'am, please, you're handing me.
Cosmo. Somebody you know, dear?
I thought you were dead.
But if you don't let go my windpipe, I will be.
At last I found you, my long-lost husband.
What?
Your husband? But he's my husband.
Excuse me, Mr. Topper, I think I should point out that you can only get a deduction for one wife.
Let's get this thing cleared up immediately. I've been married to Henrietta here for 25 years. If I'm married to her, how can I be married to you?
Maybe on a business trip?
When were you and Cosmo married?
26 years ago. He was wiped out in the stock market crash of 1929. It affected his mind.
Well, there's nothing wrong with my mind.
Those ghosts? Well, as I say, he went out and never came back. Oh, I can't bear to think of it.
But,
You poor thing. Cosmo, how could you hurt her like that?
Henrietta, who are you going to believe, her or me?
After all, you must admit her story is much more logical than yours. I mean, a dog who drinks martinis.
Do you think I come here without proof? I'll show you my proof.
She's a phony, I tell you. We gotta help Topper. In matters like this, he's a babe in the woods.
Here are my jewels.
Still think Papa's an innocent babe?
Yeah. They should have stayed out of the woods.
Cosmo Topper Jr. and Omsock. Omsock is Cosmo spelled backwards. Boys, this is your father.
Cosmo, there is a family resemblance. Why don't you say something, Cosmo?
Excuse me, Mr. Topper, but if I had a choice of wives right now, I'd take the one with 2 dependents.
I didn't ask you.
No, sir, but when you get into the higher bracket, you've got to think of those things.
Henrietta here is my only legal, lawful wedded wife.
All right. Will you sign this, please?
Cosmo, you don't remember me? I'm afraid you need some shock treatments.
I won't see any doctor.
I was referring to my lawyer. He'll give you a very good shock. Unless you make a reasonable settlement.
You won't get any blackmail money out of me.
All right. If you won't think of yourself, think of Henrietta. Think of what people will say about her.
What will they say? Oh, no. Oh, dear.
We better go.
Your wife writes a very fine hand, Mr. Topper.
Cosmo! Cosmo!
Coming, dear.
I was floating up the stairs like a balloon.
Oh, naturally you were floating like a balloon, dear. You're lightheaded.
Cosmo, I've seen you float, but it's never happened to me before.
Well, that proves that you're my wife.
It does?
I float, you float. And that woman in there can't even get off the ground.
Oh, Cosmo, we were so happy together until you won that money. Now everybody's trying to destroy our marriage.
You heard what Henrietta said? Well, she's right. I don't want to appear ungrateful, but ever since winning sweepstakes, I've had nothing but trouble.
Topper, darling, would you like it if we fixed it so you didn't win?
Oh, yeah. Let's show them how we do it, huh?
Oh, don't strain yourselves. There. It's all taken care of. You didn't win. What do you mean, taken care of? The income tax man is still in there. And that woman who claims to be my wife.
She puts on a performance like a well-rehearsed act. Well, I bet she's pulled this on lots of people. Let's have a look at her purse.
There you are, Topper. There's your evidence. So, last month you pulled this stunt on a man who inherited a brewery fortune. He paid you off.
I've got a nuisance value.
Not with me, you haven't. George, Marion, will you show them to the door?
It'll be a pleasure. George, take this one by the seat of his pants and throw him out.
Topper, I'm not going to ask you what's the trouble with these people. Sometimes I think I have eye trouble, but when I listen to your explanations, I know the trouble's with my ears. Yeah, look at that newspaper.
An apology to the readers.
It says that the report you won the sweepstakes was an error.
See, Topper? What did I tell you?
Here's a picture of the man who really won.
Poor devil.
What's his address? Oh, thanks for the floor show. Maybe I can catch you some other time. Goodbye, Mr. Topper.
Oh, he was rather nice. I'm beginning to miss him already.
That's the best news this paper ever published. Now maybe my wife will stop ding-donging at me.
Mr. Schuyler, is my position at the bank still open?
It certainly is, Topper. I couldn't get my work done for wondering who was going to do yours. Come on, we'll get down there and get busy. Goodbye, Mrs. Topper.
Henrietta, look, I didn't win the sweepstakes. Not a dime. And by losing $800,000, I make a big profit.
I really don't know what is going on.
I'll explain.
Oh, don't. I'm confused enough as it is. I just want things to be the way they were before we got that awful money. Our own little home and you floating around in it.
Thank you, dear. Of course, you understand the furs and the necklace will have to go back.
Oh, I don't mind. Really, I don't. We were much happier without them. Oh, ghosts. I don't believe in you. I know you aren't here. But if you are, I'd be much obliged if someday I could have another diamond necklace. bed, dear.
Oh, I don't want to go to bed. I just want to sit up all night and enjoy being full.
John W. Lufton, Bernard L. Schubert production. Produced by John W. Lufton. Starring Ann Jeffries, Robert Sterling, and Leo G. Carroll. Jello instant pudding, that good busy day dessert. And Jello, America's favorite gelatin dessert, now in 10 delicious flavors. Present Ann Jeffries as Marion Kirby, the ghostess with the mostess. Robert Sterling as George Kirby, that most sportive spirit. And Leo G. Carroll, host to said ghosts, as Topper.
Yours truly, Cosmo Topper. Now, the next letter goes to Eckhouse, Dunn & Eckhouse, Investment Brokers, 224 Wall Street, New York City. Dear sirs, what do you think you're doing?
I want to be your secretary. Oh, Top, I'd make a perfect secretary because nobody could see me or hear me but you.
Oh, please get off my lap.
But I can handle all your correspondence. Remember, I'm a ghostwriter.
I've had enough of your shenanigans.
Oh, Topper, darling. Aren't you attracted to me?
Oh, I find you very attractive. But I wish you'd control your attractions until after office hours.
Oh, but we can combine business and pleasure. Now just listen to this outline I've made for a letter. It starts, Dear Sir, and ends, Love and Kisses, Topper.
Love and Kisses, Topper.
Well, it's friendlier than yours, truly.
Now run along, please.
Besides, as the letter goes along, you can get to know each other better.
You know, look here, I'm very busy. You'll have to go.
I just wanted to see how you run the bank.
I don't run the bank. Mr. Schuyler does. Now go away. Don't come back. Miss Erskine. Miss Erskine, why are you so long in coming?
You'll have to make up your mind, Mr. Topper. Do you want me or don't you?
Of course I want you. Here, transcribe these letters, please.
Yes, sir.
Yours truly, Cosmo Topper. Now, the next letter goes to Eckhouse, Dunn & Eckhouse, Investment Brokers, 224 Wall Street, New York City. Dear sirs, what do you think you're doing? Please get off my lap. I've had enough of your shenanigans. I find you very attractive. I wish you'd control your attractions until after business hours. Love and kisses.
A Jello salad makes the meal. Like this dazzling beauty, a glamour salad made with new apple Jello, the flavor that's a sensation for salads. And Jello salads are so easy to make. Just prepare your Jello as usual. Then chill until slightly thickened and add whatever ingredients your favorite recipe calls for. Chill until firm, and it's ready whenever you want to serve it for adding glamour and new taste appeal to any meal. A Jello salad makes the meal. How about this? A shimmering fruit and celery salad made with lime Jello. It's so delectable. Or try lemon Jello for this bright radish salad. It's full of zesty flavor. Yes, if you want to perk up your menus, add some real appetite interest to your meals, reach for Jello soon and often. Remember, Jello.
There's Mrs. Beatty to see you, sir.
Beatty? I don't know any Mrs. Beatty.
She says she knows you.
Oh, all right, bring her in.
Mrs. Beatty.
Topper, darling.
Alice. Well, I thought your married name was Johnson.
Oh, Mr. Johnson and I are divorced. If you're wondering about Beatty, we're divorced, too.
Oh, your Aunt Emma hasn't kept me up to date.
She's probably been too busy counting the Baskerville millions. I have to talk fast, darling. Aunt Emma's outside with Mr. Schuyler. I sneaked in to ask you a favor.
What can I do for you?
Well, you can help me get married.
Well, you're getting along very well without me. Has he a name?
Uh-huh. Larry Hartford.
Not the great lover of the silver screen?
Yes, and he's not a bit overrated.
Does Aunt Emma agree with you?
That's where you come in. You have only to meet him and make up your own mind about him. Then I want you to convince Aunt Emma how wonderful he is.
Oh, is that all?
She's probably in here. Oh, I'll bring him over for dinner Saturday night. Don't tell Aunt Emma. In fact, don't tell anyone. Why did you sneak away from me? I didn't sneak, Aunt Emma. Just came in to see my favorite godfather.
Well, Topper, aren't you going to ask Mrs. Baskerville to have a seat?
Why, yes, of course.
Mr. Schuyler, if I want a seat, I'm perfectly capable of taking it myself. Stop following me.
How are you, Mrs. Baskerville?
Still rich. If you'll excuse me, darling, I have to run along. I have an appointment at the hairdresser's. Take Schuyler with you. Get him a new head.
Oh, Mrs. Baskerville,
Oh, go float alone. Goodbye, darling. Topper, I'm going to come right to the point. Have you ever heard of Lawrence Hartford?
Why, I've seen him on the screen, of course. Fine-looking chap.
Well, I wouldn't know about that. I haven't seen a motion picture since the birth of a nation. However, that's neither here nor there.
No, I guess it's closed.
I didn't come here to discuss motion pictures. I came to talk about Ellen.
Oh.
A nice girl, but has an unfortunate habit of collecting bad husbands. She wants to collect Hartford. I want you to talk her out of it.
But if she's made up her mind...
She's made up her mind about her other two husbands. This one's the worst of the lot.
But you don't even know him.
I don't have to. I've heard enough about him. Now, I'm relying on you, Topper.
But, Mrs. Baskerville...
We'll have no further discussion.
Don't argue with Mrs. Baskerville, Topper.
Why shouldn't he argue with me? What do you want?
I just wanted to show you the figures on the building investment.
I've already looked into them. They're absolutely worthless. I don't know why I don't keep my money in a stocking.
George, I'm going shopping. I haven't a thing to wear for Larry Hartford.
Hey, it's too late to go shopping. All the stores are closed.
That's the best time.
Sorry, dear. I forgot my key.
Oh, it's you, Mr. Topper.
Sorry, I forgot my key. Hello, Topper. Why did you ring? I forgot my key.
Yes, dear, you told us 3 times.
I wasn't sure you heard the second time.
Oh, Cosmo, I'm so glad you're home. I've had the most hectic day ever since lunch.
Oh, well, it's nearly dinner time now, dear, so you can relax.
I spent hours planning the menu.
Neil and I picked out the wines. No need to go to any length, dear. A simple chop will suit me.
Not tonight's menu, Saturday's.
Oh, but you don't have to arrange anything elaborate.
It's not elaborate, just a few cold lobsters and 6 pounds of beluga caviar, 8 platters of terrapin, and 9 hams.
10 hams. She forgot Hartford. But, my dear Henrietta...
I can't decide on the dessert.
Would you like to know what Katie decided? Devil's food, lemon meringue pie, and a pineapple upside-down cake.
86 people eat a lot of food.
They certainly do. You mean you've invited 86 people?
I didn't want to make it too large.
But I told you not to tell anybody.
I haven't yet, except Katie, of course.
Well, that leaves 85.
Here's the guest list, Cosmo. Can you think of anybody I've left out?
No, but I can think of 86 you're going to.
What do you mean?
Well, Ellen doesn't want anybody. Any other people I'm afraid you'll have to give up any plans for a party.
Oh, dear. I'll have to call the caterers not to come.
You shouldn't have asked them in the first place. Well, that leaves 6 of us.
George, I'm not so sure that you and Marion ought to be here on Saturday night.
Huh?
The caterers were terribly disappointed.
Henrietta, how would you like to take Ellen and Hartford to the Club 22 on Saturday night?
You mean not have dinner at home?
I don't see that it's possible to do both. Unless, of course, we get very hungry.
Well, since you won't let me have people here, maybe there'll be someone to see us with Larry Hartford at the club. Not that I mind, of course.
Oh, splendid, dear. Only don't talk about it to a soul.
Why not?
Well, if it gets around that Larry Hartford has made a reservation, there may be so many reservations that we won't be able to get a reservation.
George, where are you?
The usual place.
I'm going to look so beautiful for Larry Hartford that he'll be heartbroken he can't see me.
Martini, dear.
Oh, yes, thank you.
Neil.
Hey, you must have made him too strong.
They're 4-1, Neil.
On the wagon.
Bad dog. Good martinis. Drink 'em up.
Oh, you forgot the most important thing.
Sorry, old boy.
Oh, hello.
Hello, darling.
Hi, Top.
What's all this for?
Oh, that's for Larry Hartford, Saturday night.
Oh, yes. Yes, I forgot.
By the way, old man, how did you happen to meet Larry Hartford?
I haven't met him. Oh, thanks. He's being brought here by his fiancée.
Oh.
You mean he's engaged? How could he do that to me without even knowing me?
Who's the lucky girl?
Mrs. Baskerville's niece, Ellen.
Not Ellen Baskerville.
Why, do you know her?
Know her. Know her. Ellen Baskerville. Poor, tragic Ellen Baskerville.
You sure you had the right woman?
What is all this?
And Mrs. Baskerville. Poor, frustrated Mrs. Baskerville. How she loved me.
Mrs. Baskerville?
She wanted me to marry Ellen. To keep from breaking her heart. But it was not to be.
Okay, Hamlet, come clean. Where did you meet this poor, tragic heiress?
I'd rather not talk about it. I wonder if she knows I'm dead.
If you ask me, she never knew you were alive.
Please, Marion. Don't be bitter. Ellen was a part of my life before I knew you. A memory tender and unsullied.
Too bad I can't play the violin.
She only married to forget me.
In that case, she's forgotten you twice. And about to do it again.
I'd like to forget you. For Larry Hartford.
Probably reminds her of me.
It may interest you to know she's deeply in love with this fellow Hartford.
Nonsense. Everybody knows about Hartford. He's a lazy, dissolute drunk.
He probably reminds her of you.
Well, Mrs. Baskerville agrees with you. And she's never seen the man.
You mean you're promoting this romance behind her back?
Well, that's better than looking at her. Besides, what business is it of yours?
Well, I can't let Ellen throw herself away on a man like that. After all, she's still on the rebound from me. Poor child. What a life she's had. Constantly reminded of the little things she loved about me. My manliness, my tenderness, my wit.
Isn't there some way to stop him?
You're the magician.
Always her image before me. Always my image before her. My body on another man's face. My face on another man's body.
Now, how did I do that?
noble friends, great news. Jello announces, quick, Watson, the trumpet. Jello announces 3 wonderful new flavors.
New black raspberry Jello, deep, dark, and delicious as the ripest berries under the summer sun. New black cherry Jello, deep, dark, and delicious as the juiciest cherries at the top of the tree. New grape Jello, deep, dark, delicious as the plumpest deep purple Concord grapes on the vine.
New variety, new delight, new black raspberry, black cherry, grape, Jello.
They're deep, dark, and delicious.
Yikes! And away!
Marion, I think the guests are arriving. Marion. Topper? Ellen. Where is everybody?
Yes, but... No, I can't get his autograph for you.
Katie, where is everybody?
They've taken Mr. Hartford out for dinner.
Where to, Katie? Where to?
I promised not to tell where to.
You've got to tell me.
I don't care if you are my sister. A promise is a promise.
Marion! Marion! They sneaked out on us.
Oh, well, if you're going to get mad, Club 22.
Marion, where are you?
Yes, that's where they all went.
Where, Katie, where?
I don't know.
Marion!
I don't know where they're going after the Club 22.
Marion's gone, too.
No. Mr. Hartford didn't come here at all.
Katie, I'll give you $10 if you tell me where they've gone to.
They all went to the Club 22.
Some people would do anything for money.
Did you just drop $10?
You closet drinker? It's a sad come down for you, Neil. From champagne to beer. And listen, from now on, open your own beer. Say, Neil, I wonder how Mrs. Baskerville would like to go to Club 22. Not me, brother. I haven't got time to open all those cans.
Having failed at everything else, I became an actor, and here I am.
How did you know we were here?
You invited me, remember?
I tailed you double-crossing baboon.
What are you looking for, Cosmo?
Just looking, dear.
If it wasn't for George, I didn't tell him. Couldn't stand to watch us mooning over that Ellen Baskerville.
Woman at table 12. Just sign it to Flossie. Love and kisses.
Waiter, you shouldn't keep worrying Mr. Hartford.
Shh, the head waiter might hear you. You forgot love and kisses. Where's my pen?
Did you drop this?
Good evening, Mr. Miller. Did you just get another autograph?
Oh, no, sir.
Then what's this on your shirt?
I put it there to remind me, sir.
All right.
So peaceful without George.
Well.
George!
Take it away. Throw it out. It's tainted.
It doesn't look tainted to me.
I think I know tainted meat when I see it. Why, I was practically raised on tainted meat.
You conniving weasel.
Do you wish to order something else, sir?
It brings the same thing, untainted.
Poor tragic Ellen. This is George. You're George.
Ooh,
What's the matter, Uncle?
I felt something cold and clammy.
That was George. You're George.
I hope you're not starved, Mr. Hartford.
Not a bit of it. And please call me Larry. You can even call him Hinkle. That's his real name, Hinkle.
Hinkle. That sounds like a bell.
Say something to me, darling, to prove that you still remember.
I hear you're living in the Kirby house.
Yes.
Always my name on it.
Did you know the Kerbys?
Well, only George.
You've just stirred the ashes of a cruel memory. You just poured salt on an open wound. Don't cry, darling.
Remember, I told you about George Kirby, darling.
Oh, yes.
Poor tragic Ellen.
It's hysteria from grief.
You ordered the filet mignon, didn't you, sir?
We all ordered it.
Would you mind putting your name opposite it? The chef doesn't understand French.
You must be doing a lucrative business.
It was better last week with Gable. If you have anything to say to me, sir, please don't put it on my shirt.
It all happened when I was visiting Aunt Emma several years ago. George's wife was away for the weekend. That's how I happened to see the house.
So that's how she happened to see the house.
Well, she just came to tea with her Aunt Emma.
George sneaked me in late one night.
With Aunt Emma. For tea.
It must be rather fascinating making movies. Hmm?
What happened then, George?
Nothing, honey. We talked. Just talked.
We were talking.
There, see?
All of a sudden, George switched off the light. He said it was a practice blackout.
Practice blackout. Civil defense.
Of course, the war had been over for 3 years.
Can't take too many precautions.
Fortunately, George blacked out, too.
Can't take too many precautions.
Hey.
Captain.
I'm sorry, madam. We have no more tables.
I didn't come here to buy furniture. Where is Mr. Topper sitting?
This way, madam.
Well, my dear, this time you've shown excellent taste.
Thank you, darling. Topper, what is it?
Cosmo, was it the meat?
Good evening.
Mrs. Baskerville.
Aren't you going to ask me to sit down?
Well, by all means.
Would you mind signing for this chair?
Oh, put it on the bill. Lovely weather we're having, haven't you? Haven't I?
Did you bring me here to ask riddles?
George, did you bring that old battle axe here?
I was here long before she was.
I'd rather you brought Neil.
I would have, but he had some legal matters to attend to.
Legal matters?
Yeah. When I left, he was working on a case in the closet.
I didn't know you were coming, Auntie.
You didn't? Who is this?
Larry Hartford.
Oh, he's a friend of Topper's.
Yes, quite an old friend. Known him all my life. Mr.
Larry Hartford.
Hinkle.
Hinkle. Mr. Hinkle, Mrs. Baskerville. Mrs. Baskerville, Mr. Hinkle.
Larry Hartford.
Do you come here often, Mrs. Baskerville?
Oh, wouldn't be caught dead in the place. Only came because of your husband's note.
Note?
Yes. The note that was slipped under my door, urgently requesting that I join you and Ellen.
George, I might never forgive you.
But she gets out so little.
Where do you come from, Mr. Hinkle?
Jersey City.
California.
I could kill you.
It's too late.
You cowards, don't you try to get away.
What part of California?
Look out! You're hitting the waiter. Help, Neil, help!
Someone pushed me.
Neil can't help you now.
What part of California, Mr. Hinkle?
Oh, it looks as if we're never going to get our dinner.
Stop interrupting, Topper. Well, Mr. Hinkle?
Hollywood, Mrs. Baskerville.
Just outside of Hollywood.
Seattle.
Well, then perhaps you know a motion picture actor by the name of Lawrence Hartford?
Intimately.
Oh, is he as bad as his reputation?
No, he's even worse. He has only one thing to recommend him.
What's that?
He's a good businessman. As a matter of fact, he's about to marry a very pretty girl with a grotesquely rich aunt.
For you.
Waiter. Wait, you must stop taking pictures and then trying to sell them.
Save your breath, Topper. And for pity's sake, Mr. Hartford, sign that picture and be done with it.
You mean Mr. Hinkle, don't you, Auntie?
Well, natural mistake. One of the Hartford Hinkles.
Stop all this shilly-shallying. I recognized Mr. Hartford the moment I came in.
In that case, I may as well sign.
It's not Topper's fault, Aunt Emma. Mr. Topper, it occurs to me that if you're so deceitful about these personal matters, you may be equally so about financial matters. I refer to your handling of my affairs at the bank.
Now, just a moment, Mrs. Baskerville.
I beg your pardon?
You should. You're a selfish, domineering woman, and a bully to boot.
I've never been so insulted in my life.
I can't imagine why now.
Topper, are you going to sit here and let him talk to me this way?
Oh, why not? If I'm going to be fired, I might as well enjoy it.
Mrs. Baskerville, Cosmo was only trying to do Ellen a favor.
Yes, behind my back.
It wasn't behind her back. You sent her a note.
It wasn't behind your back. I sent you a note.
Well, why did you send me a note?
You wanted to show her that Hartford wasn't such a heel after all.
I just wanted to show you that Hartford wasn't such a heel after all. Oh, sorry, old man.
Don't mention
Is this the truth?
Have you seen George?
No.
What?
No more bullying. I want to enjoy my dinner.
Cosmo, apologize to Mrs. Baskerville.
If he does, I'll have him fired. And as for you, young man, at least I'm glad to see that you're not scared of me.
it. No, but I am. Scared to death.
Now, where could George have gone?
Bring your young man around tomorrow. I want to see if he's as romantic in the house as he is on the screen.
I thought you never went to the movies.
I didn't until last night. You know, you're not a bad actor.
Thank you. You're not a bad actress.
So, there you are. What do you look so smug about?
Oh, I feel so nice and warm inside. Bringing these two lovely people together.
A new idea, kids. Brand new from Jello Instant Pudding.
Shake a pudding, shake a pudding, shake a pudding, shake a. Shake a pudding, shake a pudding, shake a pudding, shake it. Shake a pudding, shake a pudding, shake a pudding, shake it up. Shake a pudding, shake a pudding, shake a pudding, shake.
Everybody's doing it. Shaking up dessert. Yep, they're making Jello Instant Pudding in a shaker. Watch. Just pour 2 cups of cold milk in a shaker, any quart-size shaker, add the Jello Instant Pudding, any swell flavor, put the top on tight, and start shaking.
Shake a pudding, shake a pudding, shake a pudding, shake it up. Shake a pudding, shake a pudding, shake a pudding, shake it.
In 1 short minute, that Jello Instant Pudding is ready to pour into dessert dishes. And in just a few minutes more, it's ready to eat. Smoother, creamier, and twice as good as ever before. Try this new idea. Tell your friends about it. Ask Mom to look for this special Jello Instant Pudding display. And then shake a pudding. Jello Instant Pudding, the busy day dessert.
Poor, tragic Ellen. Still trying to forget me.
The Topper Show will materialize again next week. This adventure of Cosmo Topper and his ectoplasmic house guests has been brought to you by Jello, America's favorite gelatin dessert, now in 10 delicious flavors. And Jello Instant Pudding, that good, busy day dessert. A John W. Lufton, Bernard L. Schubert production. Produced by John W. Lufton. Starring Ann Jeffries, Robert Sterling, and Leo G. Carroll.